The reason social media feels like a full-time job to most real estate agents is because you don't have systems in place. You treat this like a hobby or a nice to have instead of treating it like actual leverage to grow your business, to grow your brand. And so when you start to look at it that way, then things start to get much easier for you, being that you will have systems in place at that point. And I think a lot of people don't even realize that they don't have anything going on for them because they just post just to post. When you're posting just to post and you're not getting anything from it, of course it's going to feel like a full-time job because you're putting in all this work and not getting anything back from it. Well, not only at that point does it feel like a full-time job, but it also feels like a full-time job that sucks and that you don't get paid for. Second reason is because you focus too much on instant gratification. When I post, I want this exact thing to happen right this second. And as you know, real estate is already a long-term game. So is growing your brand. So is posting online. If you want the best results, now obviously I can get you fast results. I can get you quick wins. Anybody can get you quick wins if they know what they're doing. In terms of building a brand and actually something that matters and that will work for you in your sleep at one point, that takes a little more time than expected. And I'm not even talking about a huge amount of time. I'm just talking about a little more time than you expect, more than instant. So how do you make this not feel like a full-time job, but instead leverage under your belt? Well, first of all, you have to realize who you're talking to. You have to have a very specific person who you want to be speaking to every time you make a video. Once you reel in on that, it's pretty much like every video you make is going to be talking to somebody conversationally. You've built your ideal persona or your character that you want to speak to every single time. At that point, it's kind of like a conversation with that person every single day. What would that person want to continue to hear? What would that person want to learn? What would that person want to see? Once you start treating your content like an actual person on the other side of the screen instead of like a transaction that you hope that you can get from it, then things start to change for you. Because believe it or not, you are actually speaking to an actual person on the other side of the screen. So why not treat it that way? We get on social media and try to treat this like, oh, if I post something cool, somebody's going to come around and buy something from me. It's not the case. You're sadly mistaken. Second mental switch you need to make is you need to realize that you're building something, not buying something. A lot of people come into this with the mindset that, I'm just going to start posting and I'm not going to necessarily have a foundation, but I'm just going to start posting and hoping that the more money I put in, the post that I put in, I'll always get something in return. And I can every single time physically see that. You got to realize that a lot of your listeners are actually silently watching you. So when you look at it in the terms that you're actually building something, not buying something, then you realize that every single post is building your foundation. It's like a brick. When you build a house, it's brick on top of brick on top of brick. Eventually, you're going to have enough bricks to have a whole house, not just a foundation, a whole house. And that whole house is your content engine. That is your brand. Once you have that brand built, then no matter what you post at that point, no matter who comes and watches it, they'll already know what you're about. They'll already have a quick decision made whether they like you and trust you. And plus, you'll have a house. Like they can clearly see that you have a house. House is your brand, by the way. They can clearly see that because you've spent your time over the days, weeks, months, whatever, building that house brick by brick by brick. Everybody else is just posting just to post, hoping to get something out of it, like paying for an ad or something. You can absolutely spend money on 1,000 ads. Will that do anything for your brand? Probably not, because you haven't spent the time to put your bricks down. But when they see somebody who has an actual house, of course, you're the main target. You become the go-to. So make those two mental switches in your mind and watch how things expeditiously change for you and your brand. It won't feel like a full-time job at that point. It'll actually feel like something that's really, really a part of you and your business. It's not an add-on to your business. No, this is literally a part of your business. It becomes one. And the biggest winners in this space, they realize that leverage is their business. It's not a part of the business. It's not an add-on. It's not a nice to have. It's not a hobby. No, it's literally a part of their business because they're so hyper-focused on trying to grow. And the number one way to do that is to just have those mental switches that you are building something, not buying something. That instant gratification is never the way to go. Go build. All right, you can choose to listen to me or not, completely your choice. But for the ones who do listen, it's going to be kind of hard to get this information out of your brain once you do hear it moving forward. With that being said, social media is going to be the number one, if not now, the number one form to market yourself as a real estate agent in the next 2 years. And when I say number one, I mean number one is going to be up here and number two is going to be down here. Like it's not going to be next to it. It's not going to be close. The gap is going to be so large, it's kind of hard to explain. Now, with that being said, what's the problem? The problem is not a lot of real estate agents know what goes into making a good video. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of videos that have popped off that aren't necessarily the best. But when talking about building a strong brand, which I'll explain what brand is in a second, you have to know how to reach the right people consistently and associate yourself with the right things so that people look at you as the go-to in your city. And not a lot of people know what goes into that behind the scenes. So I'll break this down. In order to make consistently good videos and become the go-to in your city, You need to first understand your brand. Your brand is just associations that leads to an outcome. If you want to be known as the person who's the best at selling luxury real estate, $1 million homes and over, you find a way to put yourself out there and associate yourself with those things. The people who are looking for those things will automatically assume that you are the go-to person for that thing. Or better yet, when they see your face pop up on their feed, they're automatically going to connect you with, oh, that's the luxury real estate person. Now that's a layer, and here's where the problem lies under that layer. A lot of people, what they'll do, let's say they want to be associated with selling townhomes or being the best person for first-time home buyers or something like that. They'll think that doing a one-off video every month or so is going to automatically associate themselves with that thing. But they're missing a couple parts of that puzzle. Number one being consistency with actually putting your face to that thing. The more people see you associated with that thing, the more authority that you build in that niche, and people will only want to start to work with the person who's best at what they do, or the person who's best associated with the thing that they want. If you have somebody who's generally helping a lot of different groups of people, and then you have somebody else who may help a lot of different groups of people, but they only market themselves as somebody who helps this type of person, let's say townhomes in a certain neighborhood, that person who's looking at townhomes in that specific neighborhood is going to assume that the person who's marketing themselves as that will be the go-to, even though this guy right here is selling as much as this guy. Is all about perception. So why is it that 99% of agents don't have a strong brand, but rather a weak brand? By the way, all this value is in my school. Just DM me the word school if you do want access to this when it does open. Well, it's because they don't have a certain system in place online to be able to translate that they are the go-to in this one thing that people are looking for, but instead they just post just to post, hoping it lands somewhere. If you don't have a specific landing area or a specific persona that you're trying to target, then you're never going to reach them. All the shots that you shoot is going to land right outside of those things. So you have to first understand, to be the go-to, you need to be associated with something and someone. So you're always consistently top of mind when that someone thinks about that one thing or sees you. You, your associations come together, that's a brand. Not weak, not strong, just a brand. Weak brand, no systems in place to be able to show people that you are associated with that one thing. Therefore, you never become the go-to in your city. Strong brand, good systems in place and good marketing tactics in order to associate you with those things. You automatically become the authority in your niche. You automatically become the go-to and top of mind. Now, a huge part of that system is actually understanding how to create content, good content that actually drives that system in the direction of your brand. Topics and ideation, hooks, cuts, formatting, CTAs, pillars, voiceovers. There's so much things that actually go into making good content. My goal is to help you understand content creation so deeply so that you're not relying on anything else. And if you do it so consistently so that your brand gets so strong and so seen that you inevitably become the go-to person within your city. It just becomes this one big wheel that not most people get to see turn over and over again. There's been a lot of agents to have good videos but a weak brand. And what does that get them? That gets them instant gratification, but it doesn't get them this. It doesn't get them people coming up to them saying, I only want to work with you and you only, simply because I like you and your brand so much. And I believe that you're the go-to guy. You're the person that needs to be helping me. It's hard to get to that point if you're not building up a strong brand or if you're not strategic with what you're doing and posting. Now, I can give you these plug and play templates that you can use that will absolutely work. But here's the problem with that. They work so well that everybody else is doing it. In the long run, that would be doing you a disservice because you'll always be on the chase. So my goal is to help you understand everything about content creation and build a strong brand from it so that it becomes no question. Yeah, I seriously think we're moving towards a time where those overproduced listing videos are going to get drowned out and absolutely beaten to a pulp by simplified property tours that put quantity over quality. And not even saying the quality in these quantity videos are going to be bad. The quality is still going to be great. It's just going to be more volume than the person who's just putting out that one fancy listing video. I think people, and when I say people, I mean the clients that are actually watching you, I think those people are actually loving the simplicity of everything more than the fancy edits nowadays. It's way easier to connect with them. It's way easier to look at the property as a whole. And look, I'll be the one to say it. Most of you nowadays just look like tools doing it. The people who are getting the most results are actually the ones who are simplifying the process and just doing simple property tour videos. The era of fancy videos are going to be over. I called it right here, right now. We're living in a day and age where you can literally beat out the top agent in your city simply because he showed up on their feed more or more strategically. No longer will it matter that somebody sold $1 billion in real estate over the past year. No longer will it matter that somebody has like the best suits and the best cars and the best things to show for. If somebody out there finds you relatable, if somebody out there sees you more than the next person, that person can easily turn into your client. So how do you make that happen? Well, if you can nail down your positioning online and start to show people who you are outside of just being a real estate agent, there's one word that makes a difference in getting that that client or not getting that client. And that is relatability. If they can find out a way to relate with you in any reason, like it literally doesn't matter. You can have like the same cat as they do. If that's the reason they relate with you, they'll want to work with you over the next guy, no matter how popular they are, no matter how much they've sold. If you can just put yourself out there enough to get the opportunity to even become relatable to these people, I am almost for certain that you can beat out a lot more people than you think you can. It's not matter how much you sold, doesn't matter how much you got going for you. We are literally in the era of personal branding and emphasization on the personal part. You're not going to get anywhere if you simply don't have any personable traits that people want to see day in and day out. There's a lot of people doing the same exact thing, and because of that, it's easy to blend in nowadays. And so I think the one thing that really sets one apart is actually being themselves, showing their personality, showing who they are as a person. I've seen it time and time again, and by the way, I was a victim for this for a long time. You put out so much value, and you can put out so much content, you can be the most consistent person, but people still aren't wanting to work with you in specific. It's because the value is out there. The algorithm pushes the same exact stuff out. And so how do you actually stand out when everybody's doing the same thing? At that point, it just becomes a likability problem. How relatable can you be? How personable can you show up on camera to get people to like you, to want to work with you in the first place? And I think that's a skill that nobody really talks about when it comes to content creation and trying to convert actual strangers into leads and leads into clients. You just got to find that one thing about you that makes you, you. And so I think once you find that, just double down on it and people will start to gravitate towards you naturally. You won't have to continue to force it and things will work out. Okay, here's 3 simple fixes that you can make in real estate content in order to get people to beg to want to work with you in specific in under 60 seconds. Let's go. Number 1, this is going to sound cliche. Don't overcomplicate this, but literally just post more. You just got to post more. Get your face in front of them more. Get your voice in front of them more. That's thing, voice in front of them. I mean, get your voice heard by them even more. Being that there's thousands of other agents posting, you simply just have to outperform them when it comes to volume. Number 2, in relation to that, give them what they want to see. Tell them what they want to hear. You got to understand that most people are just doom scrolling. If you catch them off guard or if you catch them with something that they want to see or hear, they will be next in line to reach out to you. When you combine the visuals that people want to see both in screen and on text, and you leave some type of curiosity gap, that leads to them wanting to know more. Give them more. Number 3, ditch the boring format, but also ditch the overly fancy formats. You got to find that middle ground. That middle ground is where you're relatable and people will actually like you for you. Don't be all the way over here on the boring spectrum, but still be able to show people that you're a real person that they can relate to. Flip side of that, don't be all the way over here on the overly produced side, but still show people that you're a little bit entertaining as a person, that you're likable. Do that, you'll be A-okay. Content creation is not hard. Converting strangers to actual clients online is not as hard as you may think it is. It's literally just communication. If you know how to communicate with somebody, you know how to translate that on camera effectively, you are creating content to the best of your ability just like that. If you can learn how to actually communicate everything else that surrounds content creation, it comes naturally. There have been some of the best communicators that weren't so good at their job that got the job over somebody who was actually good at their job that didn't know how to communicate. Nobody else is saying it, so I am. Follow me.
Okay, honey, yeah, so you're gonna go to Canva, you're gonna make a pretty little graphic of your listing, then you're gonna post it, people will start to come, okay?
Nope. No. So that would have worked in 2009, but we're simply living in different times. We're in 2026, so here's exactly what works now. Step 1, you need to be honest with yourself, figure out who you are. What are you good at? What do you suck at in terms of making content? Where exactly do you want to take this thing? How big do you want to grow your brand? Do you want to do it part-time, full-time? How often are you posting now versus how often should you post? Stuff like that. Be honest with yourself, analyze yourself, evaluate yourself, you'll be all right. Step 2, you need to nail down your ICP, your ideal customer profile. Who are they? What exactly are they looking for? What type of value are they needing right at this second? What do you have that you can provide them? Are they relocators out of state who knows absolutely nothing? Or are they locals who are looking to upsize in that neighborhood that you love? Figure them out to a T, understand the language, understand their mind, and you'll be on your way. Step number 3, you need to figure out the content to actually reach them. What type of things are they actually looking to see on video? What are they actively searching up before or during their move? Figure it out and make content surrounding that. What is the best way that you can translate your value on camera? How can you aesthetically and continuously show them what's possible when it comes to the houses that they can get? Make content about it, literally call them out and show them exactly what they can get. Step number 4, do that so much over and over again that it's actually impossible that you won't succeed. You will reach the people that you need to be reaching if you do it enough, but you're never going to reach the people that you need to reach with simple little graphics. Maybe, and I mean maybe, if it's a carousel with some music over it, but even then, if you're going to gamble with that, you might as well gamble with something that's proven to work. Step number 5, stalk my page and join my school. DM me the word school if you want access to it. Want to be exposing everything in there and actually helping you grow your brand online. Cool? You can let me know if I'm wrong, but I truly don't think I am. My name is Trey, and I'm currently in pursuit of pushing out the next wave of real estate agents who want to win big online. I truly believe that this opportunity is going to be so big, and the fact that people aren't capitalizing off this is kind of mind-boggling. And that's actually learning the skill of content creation for their business. I believe all the cold calling, all the door knocking, all that stuff is great, but if you want to scale big, if you want to win big, And I believe learning this skill of content creation is the #1 skill to learn moving forward. There's never been a time where someone wanted to build something as big as I want to. Nobody has really told you this stuff to the T, and all those social media trainings for your real estate brokerage are just going to waste. So truly, I say with complete confidence, not cockiness, if you want to get in early, if you want to learn this skill now, there's no better time and there's no better way. There's no better person to learn it from other than the person dropping all the gems from here on out, and that is myself. So if you're a real estate agent who's actually good at what they do, but you find that other people who are less skilled actually get the job over you, you might just need to be more visible. You're literally living in an attention economy. How do I know that? It's because what should you be doing right now? What are you doing right now? You're scrolling TikTok and you're watching me. Everybody's scrolling. That's just how it is. Make them find you. And once they find you, make them like you. Easier said than done, I'm sure it is, but I guarantee the person who puts their face out there more and more and more is in real time increasing their odds, increasing their chances at getting the job over somebody else. No amount of in-person networking, no amount of cold calling, no amount of door knocking, no amount of open houses is going to do the exact same thing as content creation is going to do for you. There are thousands of people to be reached, literally thousands of people out there to be reached, and some of them are your clients. I'm exposing how to do all this in my school, so just DM me the word school if you want access to this when it opens. But I need y'all to realize that brand, whether that be business brand or personal brand, branding online is the way to go. At least if you want to win big over everybody else, you need to learn how to brand yourself properly. And that's not going to happen by pretty little graphics or color-coded pages. No, it's going to happen by strategic video content. You heard it here first. Business cards outdated. Your goal should be to have more videos than business cards because videos happen to be the new business cards. Card is a tool. Video is a tool. The card at the end of the day is just a piece of paper that usually gets thrown away. By the way, you can hand those cards out one by one, no longer yours, no longer in your possession. You don't own it. They can do what they want with it. Videos, on the other hand, you absolutely own that. Like, they can't log into your page and delete it, or they can't crumble up a video and throw it away. No, impossible. Another point I'll make, that card only reaches one person at a time. You may think you're doing the best job networking, but I guarantee you there's way better ways to do it. You make just one video, it has the ability to reach an absurd amount of 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people. Just one video, by the way. All it takes is one. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you really want to scale this thing, even if it's the slightest, if you just want one extra deal every 6 months, doesn't matter. If you want to scale this thing at any level, you need to have more videos than business cards. A lot of people don't. Once you realize leverage is the one thing that's killing your brand, your business, you're going to want to start to use it to your advantage. And I think the best way to do that is to make videos. Put yourself out there more and more. Plus, nobody's going to determine if they like you or not if they're looking at a card. The one simple, huge mistake that a lot of you are making is simply being a walking transaction. Now, I'm sure you've heard it before. You got to get people to know, like, and trust you. Yeah. But exactly how do you get people to know, like, and trust you? Well, let's break it down. To get people to know you, you got to go where they are. Pretty much 99% of this world is in one place, and that's online somewhere. Everybody nowadays has some type of social media. You simply can't go to a networking event and expect everybody to be there. You can't go to the grocery store, you can't go to the mall, you can't go anywhere and expect everybody to be there all at once. But where you can go is right here. Get people to know you online, put yourself out there. And once you find them and they find you, how do you get them to like you? This is going to blow your mind. Whoever you are at your most relatable form, which is probably with a friend or family member, whoever that person is, find a way to weave it in with this person right here on screen. A lot of you get caught up in trying to be overly professional. What happens when you try too hard? Well, you start to blend in with the crowd because everybody's trying too hard. Show a little bit of personality. Don't be a walking transaction. People will start to relate with you. That's how you get them to like you. Now, how do you get them to trust you? Well, trust is very closely related to time and value. The more time that they spend watching you and the more value that you provide to them while they're watching you, the more that the trust builds up. You gotta show up where they are and be yourself as much as possible while also giving them as much value as possible, as consistently as possible. Shazam, write that down. Show up, be yourself while providing value, and do it over and over and over again. You may not think your content is doing well, but I guarantee you somebody out there that's going to work with you in the future is watching you right now. And they may be a silent watcher or a silent listener. They may not be liking off on any of your posts, so you never see them in your feed. Off the simple fact that you are the one posting and that you are the one that they found relatable, you have been chosen already. You just got to wait for that moment that they are ready. It's happened to me so many times. I'll give you an example. I remember on my YouTube page, I had about 180 subs at the time. Not far from what I have now, by the way. And a video of mine had like maybe 300, 400 views on it. And somebody reached out through email because I was always good at my call to action on my videos. I'd say, email me here if you're looking to move. When you see the views rising and nobody's really reaching out to you, it's easy to get discouraged and it's easy to be like, hey, this simply just isn't working. But I guarantee you it is working. They're just not ready yet. And obviously the more they see, know, and like you, the more they'll trust you and they'll want to work with you in specific and nobody else. Literally everybody else can be talking about the same exact thing, showing the same exact properties, but they'll only want to work with you simply because you're the one who related to them the best. Your personality is a game changer, so use it to your advantage. It doesn't matter what type of personality you have. Somebody out there is going to connect with you and want to work with you. Just keep on posting. I guarantee there's a silent listener out there that is going to reach out to you one day. And it's like a domino effect. You keep on posting, and all those dominoes eventually fall, and there's your client at the end of it. Realtors, in my opinion, are some of the best communicators and conversationalists amongst any industry, right? But why is it that when they show up on camera, it tends to come off as a little bit awkward, sometimes even a lot? Well, I believe simultaneously you are good communicators. You also tend to have this switch. What does that switch represent? Trying to keep up with your professionalism, always trying to show up at your best, trying to get the next client, trying to chase the sale, close the deal, doesn't matter. That switch is usually always on. And so when they show up on camera, everything that they're holding in that switch is still on. That ends up for a lot of you being the detriment and the downfall for why your content isn't converting. A lot of people already look at you as a walking transaction as it is. So when you hop on camera, it's a little bit easy to sense that and feel it through the screen. Now here's the simple fix to it. And by the way, I'm covering all of this and some in depth in my school. So just DM me the word school if you do want access to this when it does open. But the simple fix is to, one, turn that switch off, right? And once you turn that switch off, you are human again. Right, you're somebody who people can relate to. If you can simply just learn how to show up as one of the bros or one of the girls on camera, what do you think will happen when people start to watch you? They'll feel like somebody who's close to you, even if they don't know you. And also, when that happens, you no longer blend in with everybody else, because if you blend in with everybody else, then people are going to keep on scrolling past you. Not sure if you've realized yet, but people are simply sick of the overly produced, let me put on my front type vibe from a lot of realtors. That's worked for years now, but I truly believe we're moving towards a time where that is going to start dying down quickly. If there's ever been a better time to be a human first rather than a professional, now is the time. Now, there's a certain type of stress and anxiety that comes with being in the real estate industry itself. We already know that. You know, the days that you aren't actively winning or doing anything productive can sometimes take a toll on you, whether that be in your personal life or your business life, etc. But then the days that you do win, you win big, it feels extremely good. It's like a certain type of dopamine that you want to feel over and over again, but you don't know exactly how to feel that over and over again consistently. Now, if I told you there's a way to feel at least a little bit of that every single day, would you do it? You will most likely say yes to that. Now, if I told you all that it took was a little bit of learning and the elimination of instant gratification, would you still do it? Maybe your answer is still yes. Here's what I'm getting to. There's such an opportunity nowadays. By the way, I'm covering all of this and some inside of my school, so make sure to DM me the word school if you want access to this when it does open. You're literally watching the opportunity play out right in front of your eyes as you listen to me. And that is getting online, making intentional videos, and purposely growing your brand to where you want it to go. The less stress and anxiety you will start to feel is inevitable. Having people consistently come to you instead of always being on the chase is not an idea anymore. Like, it's actually real stuff. Every single day, normal people that probably suck at their job are doing this. So my question again, if you could replace that feeling of anxiety, stress, worry with something similar to dopamine, but not having to rely on that, but just know it's there because you're so consistent at what you do, and all it took was a little bit of a learning curve, would you do it? So I think the biggest switch that one can make in their content, not only to see better conversions, but to actually build trust amongst your people, is to quit trying to inform people of what you're talking about rather than just document it. I want you to think about a documentary that you've ever watched and you liked. Now, if you really think about it, it's just a bunch of information. Like, that's all it is. It's information in a box. So why are we as humans so drawn to it if it's just information? Because if they were to hand us a piece of paper with everything that was said in that documentary on paper, we'd probably be a little bit bored. There would be no change of how I trust this person who just handed me that document. Nothing would happen for me to like them even more. Well, that's because information alone is not something us as humans naturally gravitate towards. It's how it's translated. So when talking about building trust with the audience that you're trying to reach, you need to realize from the viewer standpoint, they care more about how it's being said, how it makes them feel, the experiences around that, and who's saying it, rather than just all of the information inside of that. And I think the best and most underrated way to learn that skill of documenting is to just watch YouTubers. Like, they do it the absolute best. Anybody who possesses that skill to know how to vlog and just connect with people, find a way to talk about what's going on rather than just to teach about what's going on, if that makes sense. I'd say like conversational versus transactional. Hard work is overrated. Call me crazy, I don't care. That's only if, though, you're putting it towards a source that won't actually grow your business and scale your brand. There's an old traditional way of thinking that hard work will get you anywhere. It'll get you what you want. You'll be the most successful person. You'll be the go-to in your city. You'll be that guy. You'll be that girl. But the part that they forget or fail to tell you is that somebody simply just working hard with no type of direction is simply just beating at a dead bush. You can literally be the hardest working person working at something extremely stupid. Then there's going to be an agent out there working at something extremely hard, that's smart, that will actually send their online brand to new heights. The traditional brokerage will tell you to work hard at so many different things, but we're actually in a new point of time where working hard at those things will actually get you left behind. By the way, I'm covering all of this and some in my school. It's not open yet, but DM me the word school if you do want access to that when it does open, because there's so many other agents out here working hard at the right thing, and that is their online personal brand. Those guys, if not yet, are getting ready to skyrocket. It's not even like this pay to play thing. I know it sounds extraordinary, but it's not. You can literally punch your ticket in as much as you can for free. And then once you learn the strategy behind those videos and know what works and doesn't, it's even way more leverage. If you want to see any type of progress that you haven't seen before, big or small, this is absolutely the #1 way. I want you to imagine something. If you actually find a way to pull this off, which I'm confident that you will, your brand will see a multitude of freedom away from reliance. If you're here right now watching this, and you think that you can actually take this thing as far as you may think you can take it, that's already half the battle. If you actually think that you can, then you've already won half of the battle. The other part is actually learning, being in the process, being present, and doing it over and over consistently. And eventually, once you have that foundation laid down of so much content that your people can consume, I hate to say this, but you can evidently slow down just a little bit. By the way, I do cover all of this and some within my school. It's not open yet, but DM me the word school if you do want access to that when it does open. At that point, you won't need to grind it out, hustle every single day for what you got. No, the foundation will be so strong. All the videos that you would have put out throughout this time frame, it really just becomes this one big bed of lead generation, and you become the go-to simply because you decided to put in the work to build your brand. There's always going to be somebody looking for somebody like you to help them. Your simple video content has the ability to change everything within your life, not just your business. I'm talking about within your life. You understand that you will be way more successful. I mean, time, money, stress, effort, way more successful if you just took your time to understand your target audience. And many agents don't even take the time to understand who they're speaking to. They're just shooting for the stars and they're missing every single time. Let's put it like this, right? Cold calling somebody, the person on the other end of that line, they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, they weren't expecting a call. Most importantly, get this part right here. Their ego was telling them that you did not have permission to call me. You didn't have permission. You needed permission to call me. But you know a better way to actually reach them without their permission and actually give them a chance to like you, trust you, know you? Media. People love to consume media. We consume media all day. So what happens when people are doom scrolling on their phone and a video pops up and they watch it? Well, that was unsolicited. That video popped up without their permission. But guess what? They watched it, they stayed, they liked it. So the people who put all their effort into media and actually growing their brand, are not only going to live a happier life, but guys, look, they're just going to be more effective. They're going to be more successful over the long run. The crazy amount of people that you can reach with one video is absolutely insane. You can do as much as you want for free. I'm sure some of you have been cussed out over the phone. If they see your video and you actually give them what they want to see, tell them what they want to hear, they're not going to cuss you out. That nobody watches a video and cusses the person out over the phone like that. Nobody. That's not what I'm saying. Is in terms of effectiveness by volume and saving time, money, and stress, comparing any type of cold outreach to media, especially moving forward as we get more and more seen on media, because that's where everybody is nowadays. If you can just understand your audience and the content psychology to be able to reach them the most effective way, you're literally going to be running laps around people who are focused on cold outreach and cold outreach only. You got to meet them where they are. Play it smart, not hard. Oh, you don't need a fancy camera to start making content online as a realtor. I don't know who told you that. I don't know where you heard that from. All these people, all these real estate agents doing these fancy videos with this great top of the line gear and this 8K quality, it really doesn't matter. Like, you don't need that to start making content. To be successful at that, I guarantee you the most success that you'll have from your videos are going to be those videos that are very simplistic in quality and ideation. As long as you have good ideation and systems behind your videos, that's all that matters. You can have literally the best quality in the world, but if your video isn't great topic-wise or execution-wise, you won't have as much success as you think you will, I guarantee it. And a lot of people get that confused. They think they see all these real estate agents having this top-of-the-line quality and that they need to do the same to have success. But if I told you that most of them aren't even having as much success as you think they are, social media is a big old lie. All you need is your phone. If you make content with your phone and actually follow a certain system, those are going to be the videos that actually get you conversions, to get you sales, to get you clients in your DMs. Don't believe what they say. Don't believe what you see. All you need is a phone. If you feel like all your videos are actual crap as a real estate agent, you just need a little bit more structure. People like value or entertainment, so if you're not giving them one of those two, then you're simply just missing out. Number one, you need to actually nail down your ICP. What is your ICP? Your ideal customer profile. That is the exact person you'll be speaking to in every single one of your videos. And what is the best way to reach them? Well, you got to target their pain points or their desires. If you're trying to reach first-time home buyers that have a budget of like $300,000, literally call them out. Like, say first-time home buyers with a budget of $300,000. Simple tweaks like that will push your videos out on the algorithm, so you'll be able to reach those people in the first place. What are their pain points? Well, they may not know how to buy. They may not know the first steps to take. So just learn how to call it out in the first 3 seconds, literally hit them right in the gut. So once you do that, they'll start to listen. The more they listen, the more they know you, and the more they know you, the more they'll start to like and trust you. On the flip side of that, speak to their desires as well. So this is more visual. If you have a home, for example, that's 300,000, find a way to showcase that home in the best way possible, whether it be a walkthrough tour or like a property tour of some type. Once you show them that this is possible, they're going to bite off of it. You got your ICP, you got your hook. Now it's just a matter of giving them the actual value piece. If you know how to communicate, you know how to talk to a camera, then you're already set. If you don't, I want you to think about talking to a friend. How do you speak to them? Then literally pick up the camera, talk to the camera like a friend, just like how you would. And you instantly become somebody who they can relate to. And so they'll want to listen to that value even more, no matter what you're talking about. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a cat crossing the road. They'll want to listen to you simply off the fact that they like you and they relate to you. And obviously, do not sound too salesy with your call to action, because everybody that does that sounds the same, looks the same, they blend in. What you want to do is not blend in. What you want to do is stand out from the crowd. So how do you do that? Well, you always want to sound natural with your call to action. Don't have it be too generic, like DM me for more information or something like that. Find a way to weave that CTA in with your personality. If you make that sound natural, everything else will come natural.
I hate to break it to you, but if you're actually worried about AI videos taking over the industry to the point where you don't even start to try to build your brand, and that you're afraid of other agents taking over and watering down everything that you have done or will do because it's AI, if you're worried about that, then this simply isn't for you. Making content, building your brand, getting a bunch of inbound lead generation, this is not for you if you're worried about AI taking over you. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This will be the #1 way, if not now, in 2 years or less, not only lead generate, but also become the go-to agent within your city. There's simply no amount of relatability or connectivity that an AI character can do to connect with their audience that you can't do better. If you seriously think that that can do better than you as a person in terms of actually getting out there and connecting people and actually making authentic content and making that convert into actual sales, and building your brand simply is not for you. I think it's a skill issue at that point. And I'm not even, dissing AI. I think AI is great when you use it to your advantage. But in terms of actually making content with AI characters, different real estate agents doing that, no, then I think it's absolutely dog crap. Don't be scared. You just got to be better.
The truth is, a lot of you suck making content and can't convert for anything because you're so focused on trying to be a salesperson online instead of just being a human first. And I think the highest form of a human trying to connect with people is actually channeling your inner mom. And if you're a mom, shout out to all the moms, by the way. There's a lot of you following me. If you're a mom, you already know what I'm talking about. Like your ability to naturally just care about something so much to where people just naturally gravitate towards you. You can find a way to actually translate that through video. Geez, like people are literally making the biggest investments and purchases of their lives, and all they want is somebody who actually cares and doesn't come off as like a walking transaction. But if you can actually manage to show people that I got you attitude, then I promise the sale will make itself. Like no longer will you have to focus on actually trying to actively make the sale. So people are going to know who you are and what you do. You won't even need to explain the process. Like they'll automatically look at you as that guy or that girl off the simple fact that you are easy to connect with. Stop trying to sell and just learn how to document things. I promise it'll work out better than you expect.